Welcome to episode 4 of the KLT Fitcast, where we answer the hard questions, we give our community a voice, and we help anyone out there who might be thinking, how the heck and where the heck do I even start?
Hi, my name is Josh. I have worked in the mental health field for over 10 years, and I am here to bring a different view around mental health when it comes to fitness.
And I'm Kate. I have lost over 150 pounds. Now I'm a certified personal trainer and nutrition coach, and together we own and operate a fitness studio in Peterborough, Ontario that is called Kate L. Tom's Fit.
And this podcast is about a lot more than just workouts and the gym life. It's about the things that we all struggle with when we think about healthy living and the challenges that we face when making any kind of lifestyle change or even considering making a change.
Every week, our goal is to bring real conversations, honest accountability. And this podcast, I'm really excited about. We've titled it Make It Make Sense for a reason. We have gone through and kind of put our heads together and asked for our community involvement as well. For some of the buzzwords, niche words, myths, the things that you hear day to day when it comes to health and wellness, and we are going to help you debunk them, understand what they actually mean, and how some of them might be just marketing tactics to get you to buy into various products.
And I think, as you said, like you're looking forward to this topic, I think that it's really relevant. And I'll share some recent stories and challenges that I've had
as the grocery shopper of the house
around some of these topics. The way we're going to work this is I have a list of 22 community submitted topics, and Kate is going to pick a random number from 1 to 22, and we are going to chat about the topic.
And I think some of them we are definitely going to give space for a decent amount of time. Other ones might be rapid fire. And I think it's just going to kind of depend on how deep we need to dive into a various topic. But as always, if you are watching this and you are thinking, hey, I need more information, never hesitate to reach out to us. We are happy to help.
Yeah. So let's get into it.
Let's do it. Get rid of these notes. I got my own now.
Somebody came prepared. All right. So pick a number 1 to 22. I have my list here.
Let's go with 12.
Number 12. So number 12, I'm going to introduce the topic, and then I might say a little bit about the thing, and then you can dive right in, okay? Cool. So number 12 is time under tension. How do you use time under tension in programs? What the hell is it?
So time under tension is basically the time that, for strength training specifically, this is where time under tension comes into play. And I'm pointing around here, not that you can see, but I'm pointing around to the dumbbells and the weights at the gym. Time under tension is, in simple terms, the time that your muscles are under the tension of a weight. So thinking about dumbbells, the time that your body and your muscles have a weight resistance attached to them during a workout is time under tension.
How do you balance, when you're working with someone, how do you balance time under tension with load and total volume?
It's always the trainer, the coach's job. Something that we are always mindful of when we are programming for clients is proper form. And when someone is performing a movement with proper form, they are utilizing that time under tension really well. I think time under tension also comes into play by not loading up too much, but also not too little. So finding that right balance, which if someone walks through the door and they're brand new, we are spending some time, be it personal training or group fitness, finding that good weight to then be able to utilize that time under tension.
Very good. All right, that's 12, number 12 down.
Is my necklace touching the mic?
No, you're good.
Sorry.
Okay. Next number.
4.
Number 4.
Are we going to keep track of the numbers that we say as we get?
I probably should put a line saving.
We've done that one.
Yeah. I'll go back to number 12 and
Check it off.
check it off as we do things. Okay. And there's the real part of this podcast where we figure some shit out on the fly. Number 4 is calorie deficit maintenance and bulking. And how do you help clients, whether they're in a deficit maintenance, how do you help clients to tell whether they're in a deficit maintenance or surplus? And what cues say it's time to switch phases?
So I think for starters, it's important to define calorie deficit maintenance and bulking or a surplus. So a calorie deficit is required for fat loss. That basically means that you're in a caloric deficit. You are consuming less calories than you're burning in a day. That is required for fat loss. Then you take maintenance, and that is maintaining. So you are eating and exercising at a balanced calorie intake. And then there's the dreaded calorie surplus, and that causes us to gain fat and gain weight. And that means we are eating more calories than we are burning in a day, which causes, for the average person, fat gain, sometimes absolutely muscle gain as well. Yeah. Can you repeat the question? Oh, I know what I'm going to say. I think person to person, it depends on their goals and helping them to figure out what they have. I remember the question as I was asking you to repeat it. So as soon as a client reaches out for support, my job is to figure out what their goals are, but also are those goals realistic? Some former habits or some habits that they're completing right now that are either helping or not helping them reach those goals. So if someone is looking to lose fat, we have to have the real hard conversations that they might very well be eating too much for those goals. Not saying that you have to be in a calorie deficit forever, but to lose fat, the science says we need a calorie deficit. If someone is looking to maintain and build muscle, then we would kind of balance in some maintenance or a surplus. What else do you want me to?
Yeah. So I
Answer?
think this is something that can be really confusing for people. I know I struggle with this and understanding it when you try to talk to me about different things you're doing with different people. And a lot of it, even though I come from a medical background and understand how the body works, still seems complex and complicated. So let's make it simple. Let's
Make
say,
it make sense.
yeah, let's say that I'm coming to you and I need a plan. Let's explore what creating a plan for me might look like. Should I be in a deficit, maintaining, or should I be bulking? I'd love to bulk. Like, let's eat lots of food. Sounds great.
So I would say 90 or more % of people who come to me for programming are looking to lose fat.
So you're gently saying I need to lose some fat. Okay.
If you're coming to me. So I always start with a questionnaire, and the questionnaire talks about current things. What does a day look like in terms of how active you are? Are you sedentary? What do you do for work? What does a day in the life look like for you, your family? But then also we dive into how often, how frequently are you exercising? And also tell me about the food that you eat today.
Yeah.
All of my programs are individualized. So we do have to look at your body stats currently. So that's your age demographic, your height, your weight, and whether and how sedentary you are from day to day. And then we also look at what's realistic for someone. Never, ever would I ever put someone in so deep of a calorie deficit that they are hangry, because that
Well, you wouldn't like me if I'm hanging.
that almost always leads to the dreaded weekend binge. And programming always comes with like meal ideas and menus to help simplify the calorie deficit or the maintenance, or the menus don't change if someone is looking to lose fat, maintain, or bulk. The portion sizes change for that. So the menus that I provide to people are intended to be protein forward, which, because protein is obviously often the most boring macro to hit. And they're also really simple that allows all of the people to then kind of add their own flair to meals.
Okay, that makes sense. So for me, as someone, I play hockey 3 days a week, basketball once a week, and then I try my best to get to the gym 3 or 4 times a week. I haven't been very good at that. I'm adjusting to the new workload of hockey, and it's hard. It's also a choice, and I need to hold myself accountable to the fact
Say
that
it
I
louder.
need to hold myself accountable to the fact that have chose to sleep in instead of coming to the gym in the morning recently and make a different choice for myself. And we talked about that in our last few podcasts. So
Mhm.
yeah, that's me. But so what would you suggest for me, as that's my activity level when I'm at work? It's fairly sedentary aside from the odd walk from office to office.
Mhm.
Um
You mean what would I suggest for you,
yeah,
deficit maintenance or
yeah,
surplus?
yeah. What do I need to be doing?
Do you want to lose weight?
It would help me be quicker, that's for sure.
Yeah, so we would definitely put you into a slight calorie deficit, a realistic calorie deficit, but also with your output, we would probably lean a little more into carbs because the carbs are going to provide you with that energy, but also heavily lean into the protein so that you can recover and feel good and feel full while maintaining that calorie deficit.
So what types of foods would be helpful for me, knowing that I'd have to eat lower fat because I'm increasing my carbs and protein?
Things like oats. You don't like oats?
Yeah, I'm picky.
And no foods are off limits. So
Yeah.
carb heavy foods, like a really dense carb, would be bread, bagels, pastas, not off limits. Could be really hard to stay in a calorie deficit while consuming those. Um, Things like oats, you'd be probably relying on a lot of like cottage cheese, Greek yogurt, and then you'd get your hit of protein as well.
Mhm.
Um, you like to eat things like crackers, and there's nothing wrong with that.
That's
That's
true.
okay.
Yeah.
Rice, potatoes,
And I do enjoy
sweet
meat,
potatoes.
kielbasa. That's
Yeah,
good.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, for protein for sure.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Helps make it a lot more. It helps make things make a lot more
Make it
sense.
make sense.
All right. So that's number 4. We've done 12 and 4. What's next?
Number one.
Number 1. Okay. What the hell do these two words mean? Eccentric and concentric. Am I saying them right?
Yes.
Okay.
Again, kind of like time under tension, they come into play um, for me as a trainer and someone who understands the body too, and the muscles and how they're working. I first of all would say for the average person exercising, don't overthink it. If you are doing strength training, you're likely doing it right, and that's the first and foremost. Um, so your eccentric versus your concentric are is basically your muscles are elongating and shortening as you perform a movement. Um, so I'm going to use my arms here. So right now, if I had a dumbbell in my hand and my arm is out straight, my bicep is elongated. When I'm here, I am contracting the muscle, and your contracting is like the lifting part. And then if I was to flip it to my tricep, it is the opposite. My tricep, when it is out straight, is shortened. When it is in here, it is elongated.
Okay.
So that is again something that as a trainer I am careful about when it comes to form checks. Chances are, if you are strength training with mostly proper form, you are already completing those eccentric and concentric movements. Any good trainer will always program.
Okay. Very cool.
Next,
Yeah.
22.
22. Okay. I'm just putting my line through number 1 here. Will let me? Okay. 22.
Paper and pen versus technology.
It helped me randomize things, made it easier. All right. Number 22. No pain, no gain.
No, that's a myth.
Yeah. That sounds horrible.
Yes, and I believe when we wrote this down, we have it in
It is
quotation
in
marks.
quotations, yeah.
The term, the sentence, the phrase, the no pain, no gain, that suggests that if you are not in pain after a workout, you are not gaining muscle, you're not gaining progress. That's a myth. You don't have to feel like absolute shit after every workout whatsoever. You should actually feel quite good about it. And I think the term pain is, we can easily ride a fine, blurry line of pain that is muscle soreness and worked muscles versus pain that is injury. And a lot of people would hear no pain, no gain, and they have actually injured themselves. Oh, but it's supposed to be like this. It's supposed to feel like this.
Yeah.
No.
I have in my notes describing the difference between something like productive discomfort and red flag pain.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. And if you are someone who ever worked with me in person, specifically personal training, if you have ever mentioned a sore back, a sore knee, you know that I am touching base about those exact things constantly during a session. Making sure we are not creating any pain, making sure we are working to mitigate the pain and strengthen the area so that the pain doesn't have to happen all the time.
I think, especially as we get older, we want to focus on strength that reduces our pain, because as we get older, things tend to ache and be sore. And if we move in certain ways, it doesn't particularly feel good sometimes.
Yeah, and if something feels sore and even if it's something that you have experienced an injury with in the back, it doesn't mean that you have to completely eliminate whatsoever, but it does mean you might need help from someone like a trainer or a coach to then build things up in a responsible and careful way.
Safe way,
Yeah, to be able to then do, like I'm pointing to my shoulder. Everyone's got a sore shoulder. But it doesn't mean that you never, ever will be able to have your hands over your head anymore. It just means we have to be really careful and safe about doing those movements to build up the area again, get some muscle, figuring out what is compensating from one side to the other, and just being really careful with programming for that. It doesn't, pain and injury doesn't mean you can't ever do it again. It just means we have to be so careful.
That makes sense. What's our next number?
Unlucky 13.
13.
Better be a goodie.
I hope so. 13. 13 is cortisol. And I have a couple of things to say before we get into this one.
Oh, okay.
What is the practical difference between normal and short-term cortisol spikes from hard training and chronic stress that can hurt recovery? And how do you help your clients manage this? Also, can it be an excuse to not train?
Can it be an excuse? Oh yeah, we can we can have an excuse for everything.
Can it be used as one though, or is it a common one?
So I think to start, let's define what cortisol is. Cortisol is something that is naturally created within our body, and it is the stress hormone. So a lot of the things that are out there in the world today will say that cortisol is why you are gaining weight, and cortisol is why you are overweight.
It can cause inflammation in your body and all
yes.
that stuff. Yeah.
But to take that back a step further, what happens when we are stressed? When our cortisol is elevated and we are feeling stressed, what do we usually do?
I mean, we talked about eating as one of those coping strategies.
We eat.
Yeah.
So is it the cortisol spike, or is it the products, the other things that are making us gain fat, gain weight because we are stressed? Granted, I firmly believe that there are certain medical conditions that would have someone in a different category as this. But for the average person, it's not the cortisol that is making you gain weight. It's
the stress.
Overeating because you are stressed. Because if you're stressed, you're likely not sleeping. It's all of the other things.
From a mental health viewpoint, we look at stress as our activating element. And then we have all of these things that happen after the stressful element.
Mhm.
So what it looks like is we have our stressor in our life, whether there's something major that happened or even just normal day-to-day stress, but something has
Mhm.
kind of triggered
Mhm.
things to be a little bit worse. Then we have our sort of scenarios that play out, and we go to our usually unhelpful or unhealthy coping strategies in order to manage those,
Mhm.
which can be things like sometimes alcohol, substance use, sometimes it can be food, sometimes it can be
Nothing that a tub of ice cream can't fix, right?
exactly. It can be a whole lot of things, and what from a mental health standpoint, what we want to try to do is find more helpful ways in order to manage the stress, and fitness, activity, even just walking can be those helpful
Yeah,
things.
yeah. And never can we ever eliminate cortisol.
No,
It's a
stress
requirement for life.
is in our life, and it's been in our life since early caveman times when we were fighting just to survive.
Yeah, yeah. And I like from the medical perspective, there's always going to be cortisol. It's a hormone. It's always going to be within us, but it's again how we manage it. And a lot of times people would say, "Oh, I can't lose weight or whatever." So I would throw in the towel and I will never exercise because I have that cortisol tummy.
Yeah.
When really you should be leaning more into especially fitness.
Yeah, or just any kind of activity. And am I saying that you have to use activity as your thing to cope with stress? No. You can have your own things that are part of your own toolbox
Mhm.
in order to help cope and manage with stress or negative automatic
Yeah.
thoughts or anything that like that drives up our
Mhm.
stress
Mhm.
hormones. But
And
it's helpful to have those.
it's easy to lean into that. Oh, I can't again, I'm going to say it again. I can't lose weight because of this, because of my cortisol, da 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 da. But really, most people can take a second to reflect and see, oh, like here are the things that I've actually been not doing that are the cause
Yes.
of the gain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's cortisol.
Was that 13?
That was 13.
Okay, then we have to go to lucky number 7.
Lucky number 7. Okay. Body
I
recomposition.
love beta. Blah, blah.
What is body recomp?
I love body recomposition. And body recomposition, I'm gonna BR. Can I call it BR? Because I'm gonna fumble over the words. Body recomposition. Um, I steer into this heavily with every single client that I ever work with who wants to lose weight.
Mhm,
Just the same conversation about body recomp happens when we have a week where the scale doesn't frickin' move.
mhm,
The scale doesn't move. We've done all of the things right, and we wake up on a Friday check-in morning and we jump on the scale and it's not frickin' moved.
mhm,
We've done all the things right. I'm doing everything that Kate says, but the scale hasn't moved. That's where we steer into body recomposition, because if you are consuming adequate calories, and that can be a calorie deficit, adequate
mhm,
calories, adequate macros, and adequate protein, especially while simultaneously doing strength training and flowing into those daily habits, your body is going to physically be changing even if the scale is stuck.
mhm.
Dare we talk about the dreaded 1 pound? We have heard many times that, what is it, that 1 pound of fat or
Oh, yeah.
whatever, 1 pound of fat weighs more than 1 pound of muscle. We know that that doesn't actually make sense. 1 pound of muscle and 1 pound of fat both equal 1 pound.
It's like the question, what weighs more, 100 pounds of bricks or 100 pounds of feathers?
They're both 100 pounds.
They're the same.
Yes. So if you, but if you look at the space in your body that 1 pound of fat takes up versus 1 pound of lean muscle, it's drastically different. Yes, both 1 pound, but 1 pound of fat takes up a lot more space than 1 pound of lean muscle mass. So body recomposition means you are losing fat, building muscle simultaneously. And that is why in all of my programs, we take measurements till the cows come home and we take photos before, after, sometimes even during, because those other measures of success often paint a way better picture than the scale. If we only focused on the scale, we would feel like shit so often. But if we compare body recomposition over 8 weeks, your photo is going to look drastically different. Even if you only lost, I don't know, 5 pounds in that whole 8 weeks, your body is going to look so different because its recomposition is changing drastically.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. It's also, you answered question 7 and 8 here, because 8 is, I refuse to get on the scale. And you're really focused on the other ways in which we can measure fat loss rather than just the scale. And I'm going to say, personally, I identify this with this really well, because as I've gotten stronger, the scale number hasn't changed, but the way my body looks and the clothes that I wear, the way I move has all changed.
And I think it goes back again. Do I say that every single question?
Maybe. I say a lot of you knows, so people probably hate that.
And then today you said cool, and that felt weird.
Yeah,
the scale is incredibly toxic for a lot of people because of what diet culture has created for us. It is not the only tool for success, but it is a tool for success. I've worked with people who want no part of the scale, and that's okay. But the scale is data. The scale is data that can help us when it comes to reprogramming and changing things as needed. And a question that comes up every time I work with a group challenge is, how often are you going on the scale? There are people who, and I'm one of them, I go on the scale every morning because it is a part of my morning routine. Sure, there are fluctuations, the ups, the downs. I don't let that scale define me. It's like, oh, wow, I'm up a pound, but guess what? I know that I'm going to poop today and I'll be down. Whereas other people, so I use that scale as data because
So hold on. You only poop once in a while, not every day.
Every day.
This is blowing my mind.
No, I've lost my train of thought.
Sorry, I'm good at that.
Whereas other people, they really hold on to that number on the scale, and it's really hard for them to get past the reasons why the scale might be up. The scale is only measuring us, the amount of gravity that we take up. It doesn't show the transformation, the body recomposition, doesn't show the inches. And another thing I always like to touch on.
Doesn't show how you feel.
Yeah, for sure. And if you are someone who is overweight and is trying to lose weight and wants to be in like that size smaller of pants, the scale doesn't give a shit what size clothes you wear. But the measurements, that is where sizing down comes into play. And seeing those measurements come down, that's when you get to go shopping and, oh, I'm wearing an XL instead of a double XL or whatever it is. It's the measurements and those other measures of success that actually give a rat's ass. Yeah.
Makes sense.
I'm getting hot.
Yeah.
Fired up.
You are fired up.
I knew this was going to happen.
Okay. What's the next one?
So that was 7 and 8.
Yeah.
Let's do, I keep looking at my list like the numbers are going to help. I don't have numbers on mine. Let's do 10.
10? This is one I have no idea what this is.
Uh-oh.
Can you explain what DOMS is?
Oh.
Why soreness isn't a reliable scoreboard for progress?
So kind of like no pain, no gain. DOMS is DOMS, not calling out my Dominique client.
We love you, Dom.
We love you, DOMS. Delayed onset muscle soreness. So that is what happens after a workout, the next day, or even the second day after. The second day is always the worst. And that's the muscle soreness. When we talked about no pain, no gain, we talked about how we can kind of ride the line of muscle soreness to red flag injury soreness. DOMS is specific to muscle soreness. It's not a bad thing. It might not feel great. It's delayed onset muscle soreness, and every time a new person
it's always a new person. You always have to do the same work.
Yes, you will think of me when you get up tomorrow morning and try to sit on your toilet to go pee.
Yeah.
You will have DOMs
Mm.
in that moment where you might say, okay, yeah.
But what do you say to people when they're going to have that soreness for the first time?
It will never be like that
Yeah.
again. Your DOMs is going to be the worst, the hardest after you do something new. So your first workout, yep, you're going to be sore probably for a couple days, maybe even 3 days.
Yeah.
It will never be like that again. You might have down the road, 6 months down the road, a super wildly intense workout, and your DOMs might feel like they are back to that square one, but it's never going to be that bad again.
Yeah, it's your body is getting used to the new level of fitness,
And it
or
likes it.
yeah,
It
new
likes
level
it.
of strength that's required to do whatever it is that you're doing.
Yeah.
And it will slowly build strength to be able to tolerate that level because it wants to be at a normal spot.
I wonder what number on your little list here is going to talk about progressive overload, because I feel like we just segued into what the heck progressive overload is.
I can scroll and see if I can find
It's
it.
on my list.
It's on my list. I just don't know where it is. You can go ahead and talk about it. It's number 19.
Okay, 19 is done. Progressive overload is what you do when you are strength training. That is that like 1% better each day. A little bit more over time, increasing the weights, increasing the reps.
Think of it as a staircase.
Yeah, for sure. So, for instance, if you start your first session with bicep curls that are 5 pounds in weight, and you have that DOMS the next day, when you come back to the gym, we will likely always start with that 5 pounds, but then we might up it to
7.5.
Ours are 8s. We have
Okay.
8s.
Okay,
And then from
sure.
there, gradually building up over time, increasing the weights. And there are a lot of weeks where we don't increase the weights. That's okay. But just that teeny tiny bit, that is what muscle growth is.
Mm-hmm.
You are creating little bitty micro tears in your muscles to grow them. It's also why we need adequate protein to fuel them. So progressive overload is gradually building the weights, increasing the weights, increasing the reps, increasing the resistance for whatever it is you are doing around the gym. Right?
Is there a point where your body is as strong as it will be? And is it realistic to ever actually hit that point?
No, I think we can always challenge ourselves. And there's ways to even oftentimes use the same weight in a different way. You know, if you think about a goblet squat with X amount of weight where you're holding the weight up here can feel very different than low loading a squat with the weight down in between your legs, can feel very different from adding a barbell to your back. There are always ways to progressive overload, challenge your body, and give it that little bit more.
Cool. Next number.
6. I'm going to start having no idea the numbers that we've done. So if
It's a good thing I've crossed them out.
so we don't talk about it over and over again.
Yeah. 6. It's time for story time from Josh.
Oh, I know where we're going with this then.
Yes, you do.
Go ahead.
So before we get into this topic, I'm going to share my own personal frustration and let everyone know that this is a real problem. So in our house, I do all of our grocery shopping.
Mm-hmm.
I do it on Saturday mornings, and it's actually something that I really enjoy doing. It's kind of just I go with headphones in and do my own thing and get exactly what's on the list and nothing else, which is wonderful. But recently, Kate has, I think she's just trying to ruin what is a great activity.
It's just Greek yogurt, man. It's Greek yogurt.
She has had high protein yogurt on our shopping list.
It's like when a man goes shopping for tampons and you try to give the most explicit explanation you possibly can, and then they mangle
I do better with that, I think. So, high protein yogurt, been on our list. I know how to read a nutrition label. I know what to look for. I can tell you that there are so many different high protein yogurts on the shelf that it is impossible to pick the right one because I have picked the wrong one 3 weeks in a row. So, Kate, with that being said, what the hell does high protein mean?
So this one, we are going to give high protein its moment.
Yeah.
It is time to debunk the high protein marketing. It pisses me off so much that as of late, the term high protein has become niche,
It's a marketing
buzzword, marketing tool. Protein is required in our bodies to just live and provide fuel to then be able to have output.
It's like, what makes you feel full.
And now we are rushing through the grocery store. The cereal aisle is the worst for this.
Oh, yeah.
High protein this, high protein that, high protein this. Most people know, because we don't live under a rock, they know that they likely need more protein in their diet. So they're going to see that brand of cereal on the shelf that says high protein. Boom, good. I did a good thing because I bought that because it said high protein. Yeah. They are never turning the box to actually see, is it high protein? So
cereal's really bad for it because their high protein, it says with milk.
Yes. Yeah. So on the front of the box, it says 10 grams of protein, and in tiny, tiny letters and an asterisk, it says, when you add in the milk.
1 cup of 2% milk. You know how much protein's in 1 cup of 2% milk? Like 9 grams of protein.
That was an exaggeration, but okay, yes.
Yeah.
So I have a hack for you that I've seen online, and it's kind of gaining a lot of momentum. And this is a hack that I think is great. There are so many companies out there that are just marketing the words high protein. And I actually dove into it when it came up as something that I wanted to talk about. I tried to find the legalities, and they don't
exist.
Well, and in a lot of words, there are legalities surrounding how something can be labeled high protein, but there really are no.
It has to have the word quality, high quality protein. That is regulated.
Yeah. So basically anyone can slap, if it has protein in it, they can slap a high protein label on it. Because we are in a rush. We don't always think about it. We just grab and go. So here's what I want you to think about next time you go to the grocery store, and I have no cereal here. When you turn to look at the nutrition label, the calories at the top per serving, for instance, if it says the serving size is whatever, and there are 270 calories in a serving, I want you to take off the 0. What are we left with?
27.
Then I want you to go down the nutrition label where it says protein. And for this item in question to be considered a tried and true high protein option, that protein count should be at or more or around 27.
Yeah. So the yogurt that I bought, not this week, but last week, had high protein on it, had 10 grams of protein. There were, 180 calories in the yogurt that I bought?
Yes.
So 10 grams of protein and 180, that is not a high protein source.
No, but that doesn't mean that you shouldn't consume all of these things. It just means you have to be thoughtful about the fact they are trying to trick us and pull a fast one on us. It might not be the best choice for you as someone who is trying to gain more protein in your day-to-day life, because just by adding in protein isn't going to magically help you lose weight. It's not going to magically fix all of your
if you're
whatever your problems are.
2,000 calories in just protein, you're still, if you're not in a that you're still going to gain weight.
Exactly. So just that little hack, and honestly, just being aware when you're at the grocery store, being aware of, one, your goals, and also just turn that box a little bit. If you are trying to consume more protein, try that hack when it comes to Greek yogurt, cottage cheese, protein drinks, all of that. If we were to compare, thinking about the pre-mixed protein shakes, I'm going to say, so the one you bought was a high protein yogurt drink.
Yeah.
I'm going to compare to a high protein shake. And I don't want to use any brand names, but a protein shake, obviously labeled as high protein, that's going to have for instance, 180 calories in the bottle. So if we take off the 0, what are we left with?
18.
18. We are going to go down the nutrition label until we see that protein count.
And usually it's 30.
30 grams of protein. So if you are using that little hack and you have this protein shake, is that protein shake a really good protein source?
Good bang for your buck.
Insanely bang for, and for your macro buck, for your daily calories.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Just be careful when you're at the grocery store, okay?
Yeah, and maybe next time you could give me
send pictures.
Yeah, give me a picture of the yogurt you want, maybe.
Disclaimer, I did drink that, but
yeah,
I didn't drink it because I needed to have a crap ton of protein in my day. I got that elsewhere.
No, it was almost like a bit of a meal replacement.
Yeah, it was just like a delicious little snack.
Okay. Yeah, well, I'm sure it was nice and full of sugar because of how many calories were in it.
Yeah. Number 19. Did we do 19?
19. Yeah, there it is. I was wondering how long it would take.
18?
We have not done 18, and it ties in really well with our protein discussion.
Okay.
And we also did an entire podcast on this type of thing.
Oh.
What drives the yo-yo diet cycle? And what is yo-yo dieting?
Yo-yo dieting is the thing that every single person watching this has probably done the yo-yo dieting cycle. It means you see something and you buy into it and you perhaps drop and really restrict your body. You drop weight really fast and then you stop doing it and you go back up, gain more, back up and down, much like a yo-yo.
Or you're on the roller coaster ride.
It's called yo-yo dieting.
Sure.
It's a yo-yo. It's going up and down and up and down.
Sure.
What drives the yo-yo dieting? I think it goes back to the same people who drive the high protein claims. They are designed to make us buy into things. They're designed to confuse us into that robotic state of mind where must follow blindly.
So how do you break it? Like how can you stop being caught in that cycle of I must try this new thing, I'm going to do it for 30 days and
I think you have to recognize that you are caught in that cycle. Yeah. A lot of people think that the yo-yo diets, well, it worked in the past, so it's going to work again. But did it work in the past if you have gained the weight and then some back?
Well, yeah, because I lost the weight.
But you gained it back. Would you rather not lose the weight for the last time and live a healthy lifestyle?
Sure, but that's hard work.
Yeah, it is. So I think first reflecting and recognizing that you have been and may still be stuck in that yo-yo dieting cycle, and then have to decide on the realistic habits that you can develop that are going to help you lose the weight. And also do your freaking research. Take some time
or talk to someone that has done the research.
Well, I didn't want to turn it into a sales pitch, but do some research and learn. Take the time to understand how to read a nutrition label, what it takes to lose weight, how you can still enjoy all of the things that you want and you want to consume within reason and still see the progress that you want over the long term. You can see results forever. And from there, if you need some help with coaching, my name is Kate, and we offer that.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah.
And it is not a yo-yo diet. We don't do yo-yo diets.
Yeah.
No.
So you mentioned it. We're going to another one just because it ties in really well.
What number is it?
It's number 16.
Okay.
And you mentioned, you got to learn how to read the nutrition label. What is the nutrition label? What are calories based off of? What's the word?
You want me to throw out macronutrients.
There you go. So when we talk about macros, and you talk a lot about them.
I do. I will preach
what
macros until... Macros are calories.
Okay.
Macros are calories.
What are calories?
Food.
Yes.
Things that you put...
What are the macronutrients that are important to know about when it comes to calories?
Okay.
Break it down.
We're going to talk about an umbrella.
Make it simple for me.
Make it make sense.
Yes.
You have an umbrella. The top part of your umbrella or a pyramid.
Right.
Umbrella. We're going with umbrella.
Sure.
Here are calories.
Sure.
Macronutrients make up the calories.
Yes. And what are the macronutrients?
We have the protein, we have the carbohydrates, and we have the fat. Those are the food, the things that we put into our body to fuel our bodies. If we eat too many calories.
How many calories are in each one?
Well, your carbs and your fat, for 1 gram of those, we've got four calories per gram of carbohydrates and protein.
Yeah.
We have 9 calories per 1 gram of fat.
So that's why I have a hard time.
Fat adds up a lot faster than carbs and fat. So
so much fat in chicken wings, but they're so yummy.
Try some chicken breast, bro.
I know.
Try some chicken breast. So macronutrients are what make up a calorie. And we have said in every podcast, a calorie deficit is required to lose fat. Great. And to lose weight. Great. If we want to take it one step further and fuel our muscles, feel satiated, feel full, then we need to be talking about macronutrients. And macronutrients is going to be what is driving the fat loss, because we can all lose weight, we can lose water weight, we can lose fat, we can lose muscle tissue and all of that. But would we not just really want to lose fat? That's the goal.
Yeah,
we want to lose the fat and lose it for the last time. So macronutrients are the utmost simple way to lose weight. And all of the yo-yo diets, all the fad diets that we talked about in episode 2?
No, was it 2?
I think it was 2.
Was it?
I think it was 2.
No, maybe. I don't know.
All of the fad diets are an overly complicated way of tracking macros.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely they are. Yeah.
So then an extension of that, I have it written down here. There's the IIFYM.
Is that if it fits in your macros?
Yes. If it fits in your macros. That's what makes macros non-restrictive. We don't tell you what you can't eat. We don't label foods as bad. We say, if it fits your macros for the day,
yeah. How do you know what fits though?
You have to track your food, and people are so...
Is it hard to track your food?
It's tedious and it's really annoying. It's not hard.
Okay.
It's just annoying. It's annoying to take the time. It
requires work.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. So you have to, again, track your food, and not because we are steering into shitty diet culture, but because that is more data that we need to use to be able to see the progress that we want to see. If we track our food and we are eating too much, we will gain weight.
Yeah. You know what would be a really fun experiment to do is to have different types of foods, like some vegetables, some meats, and some other things, and have a scale and have people try to put 4 ounces of each one on a scale.
Nice.
It would be so high. It would be telling without the people being able to see what it actually weighs. Just put an amount that you think is 4 ounces, because that would be really telling in terms of how portion control can get way out of control.
Yeah. So yeah, macros are your carbs, your fat, and your protein. Those 3 things make up the food that we eat. That makes up the calories.
Maybe that's at our 2-year thing. Maybe that's
we don't
something
have
we
enough space in here. We
could totally do it.
Jam-packed in here.
We could make it work where we have a food scale and it's a
challenge.
Closest to 4 ounces wins. Or
this podcast is going to come out after
so it'll
the anniversary.
People will be laughing that we did this.
Okay, next.
It was born.
Next.
I have one more question about macros.
Sorry.
How do you know how much of each you should eat?
That comes back to,
like, if you're doing like one of the fad diets that is like carb restricted, you're eating like less than 10%.
And they're telling you exactly what to eat. You actually have no idea what that data actually means.
Yeah. What is a good reference point in terms of...
Well, a reference point would be starting by tracking exactly what you are consuming right now. Before you even make any changes, track what you're consuming. And if you've been steadily gaining weight over the last 6 months, a year, know that number is too much. It's too high.
Yeah, fair.
Again, it's really hard to pinpoint for anyone, especially someone who wants to lose weight, what they should be eating. There are free calculators out there online, but they are exactly just a math equation formula. Doesn't take into consideration a lot of the other things that I would. Yeah, not to turn it into a sales pitch again, but there's more to it per person.
So there isn't just a baseline. I should eat 30% of this, like 30% protein, 30% carbs, and 40% fat, because that sounds great.
um, so when I first start clients out with a macro program, I usually keep it very balanced in terms of 35% 35% carbs, 35% protein, and 30% fat, but without a calorie target, those
Those numbers don't
those
mean
numbers mean nothing.
Yes.
So instead, it's here are your calories. Here is how much in grams of each you should be consuming each day to maintain a calorie deficit. And from there, that's when the percentages make sense.
Yeah, and especially when you start tracking the food that you're eating, and there's free apps out there that let you track. You have your app that your clients use that allows them to track and input their own meals and everything. And a lot of them come with, like, you can use your camera to scan the barcode,
Yeah.
and it'll track
And
one
it's
serving size automatically.
it's annoying. It's tedious. Do I really have to track everything that I'm eating? Yes, you do, because it's data that is required to be able to see the progress that you want to see. Do you have to
never gonna
track
know.
forever? Absolutely not. There are phases in my own journeys where if I'm trying to do a cut and a calorie deficit, I will go back to diligently tracking my food.
Tracking right now.
Even though I know what a portion looks like and I know what to eat to lose fat or gain whatever, but having that tracking system is an extra layer of accountability.
Yeah, how are you going to hold yourself accountable to
Exactly.
the things you're actually putting in your body if you're not even
It's that little
showing what it is you're putting
that
in?
little devil and angel on the shoulder saying, just track your food. You don't need that. You've already tracked your food and it's fine. Eat it.
Just eat it. Okay, so that was 18 and 16. What's next?
I know we haven't done number 2. I'm running out of numbers and remembering them.
Yeah, after 2, maybe I will just go through whatever's left.
Well, I have to guess a little bit more.
Here comes another story time. Going to share some interesting Josh information that's probably too much information and people are going to turn off the podcast.
Guess what it is?
Sure.
No, I don't know.
I am a sweaty ass human being.
Okay.
The poor people that I played basketball this morning with did not want to be anywhere
Or the
near
odd
me.
time that you show up to boot camp unannounced and the people behind you following you to stations just go and casually grab a towel because
Yeah.
made the mat disgusting.
Oh yeah, that's the walk of shame for me every time I switch stations.
Are we going to talk about sweat being the way you know you've had a good workout?
No, well, kind of, yeah, but like me as a super sweaty person and you as somebody that struggles to sweat at all, like we joke.
You always want what you don't have. I
Yeah.
wish that I could just be drenched in sweat, whereas you're like,
It'd be nice to just sweat even a little bit less.
yeah.
But like I literally can sweat from my eyelids when I am working out because I just run so hot all the time. But does that mean that if you and I were to burn the same amount of calories because I'm a sweatier person, I had a better workout?
No, not at all. Sweating does not mean that you are burning fat.
on.
And it
Yes, it
doesn't
does.
mean that you're having a better workout than someone else. It just means that you are a sweatier human. And perhaps it might even mean that you might be dealing with a symptom of menopause.
I don't think that's my problem.
But there are times where you can see the sweat just formulate on some of the women who will come to a session here, and it's not necessarily the workout all the time. Sometimes they just have a hot flash. And there are people who just don't sweat. And if they are sweating, it's like, damn, you are working hella hard today. Like, it's unusual to see them sweating. Yeah, no, sweating does not mean you had a better workout or a
Does
good
it mean
workout.
you're going to burn more fat?
No, it doesn't. No. Nope. Usually,
Then it's really just as useless as it feels.
usually losing fat and burning fat comes from the food that you put into your mouth, because 70-80% of your progress is unfortunately going to come from your food, and the rest of the 20% is going to come from exercise. That is the happy little passenger along a weight loss transformation.
We'll put it this way. Where do I buy my deodorant from?
Yeah, you buy the Costco pack.
I buy the Costco pack. Okay, number 3, we haven't done that yet, and it's a doozy. Do our bodies need to drink juices or commit to some wacky cleanse like drinking motor oil to clean out our pipes?
Motor oil.
Sure.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know what the fads are out there right now, but I've definitely heard of people drinking oil to try and clean things out, which sounds horrendous.
It's a no for me. That would be a myth. All of your cleanses and detoxes are
How does the body clean?
you have a liver. You have a liver that is required. Even my dad, when he was alive, had a liver transplant. The liver is required, and the liver does all of the detoxing for us. It does the cleansing for us.
So what you're saying is our body is naturally designed to detox and get rid of toxins that are in our body.
Yes.
And we don't need to go to hoo-ha or as Sheldon Cooper would like to say, hokum, to try and figure things out.
Correct. And usually the detox or the cleanse that is being marketed to people is just a way to incredibly restrict your calories or not eat anything as a way for your body to figure itself out. If you have been eating like a trash can or a trash panda, chances are the best cleanse you could do is to start eating the foods that you know you should be eating, right? It's like going on vacation, going to an all-inclusive resort where you eat and you eat and you eat and you eat and you eat.
I'm feeling particularly called out right now.
You come home. The answer is not to starve yourself and consume only juices or water or whatever.
Motor oil.
The answer is actually just to go back to what works in terms of the foods that you're putting into your body.
So what we're saying is don't drink the motor oil.
No, yeah.
Or snake oil or whatever other oil people are trying to sell you.
Yeah.
Okay.
What about have we done number 9?
I don't know. We've done 2 and 3. I'm just putting my lines through as we go. Number 9. Nope. No, we have not done this one.
Got another one.
This will be a good one.
You keep saying that. They're all doozies. We didn't sleep when it came to making this list.
Man. Yeah, our community responded well with this. Menobelly. I have no idea. I honestly, genuinely did not even know this existed until we started talking and you gave me the things people had said.
Yes.
What actually changes around menopause for women?
So, a moment for the females out there who...
A moment of silence.
Go. You can leave for this one. For the changes that our body has to go through. Okay, actually, back it up a little bit. Before any of those symptoms come into play, women, I like to say we only get a couple good weeks a month because our cycles, our bodies wreak havoc on things like the cravings, the exercise, the output the energy levels, all of that. So the perimenopause symptoms happen.
You are reeling from that comment I just made. You want to hit me so bad.
The symptoms that we experience start so freaking early. The changes start to happen way too early, I would say. But there's a lot of talk out there about the menobelly, the menopause belly. And I'm just going to take a quick second. I'm not a doctor, but I am someone who deals with a lot of women within the age bracket that the changes are happening. So when we go through menopause, our estrogen levels drop. And so for some women, what can happen with that is instead of gaining weight, I don't know, like on your hips or your thighs or whatever, there is something called visceral fat, and that is the fat that we gain in our stomach area. So a lot of people would say, oh, I have a menobelly, kind of like the cortisol belly.
Me too, apparently.
They can't lose weight because it's visceral fat. Okay. But a lot of other things usually happen when someone goes through menopause and the changes. Usually, your sleep is affected. You're probably not sleeping very great. Your day-to-day levels of movement have changed. You've likely become a lot more sedentary than you once were.
Yeah, well, retirement, right? Like,
Yeah,
play
exactly.
a role.
So a lot of changes that are going to contribute to the fat gain. So it's just another layer. You're not broken. You are not a lost cause if you are going through menopause and you're feeling a lot of the symptoms that come with that. You're not broken if you go back to basics of desperately trying to get that sleep in, the water, the protein intake, the strength training. You can still see and lose fat just like anyone else with the right habits and the right tools. Just because you are in menopause doesn't mean you are broken. You're not screwed.
It's a good message. I'm also going to take a second and apologize for the rude and awful comments that I made while
Because you're going to
trying
be
to joke
walking home.
and joke about a very sensitive topic.
The only time that you will gain,
Please don't kill me, ladies.
the only time that you will gain fat is if you are in a calorie surplus. If you were eating more calories than you burn in a day, you will gain fat.
Yep.
Regardless of the stage that you're at in life.
Makes sense. Okay.
Number 11.
Yeah, we haven't done this one. Spot reduction.
The bathtub analogy. Spot reduction is people who think that if they work out core and only core, they will lose fat from their core.
Isn't that how
The
it works?
same people who think that if they, I don't know, like do nothing but bicep curls and push-ups, they will lose fat from those specific areas. That's not how it happens. You cannot spot reduce where the fat is on your body. The perfect analogy is a bathtub. If you fill a bathtub with water, this is my bathtub here, it is full of water. I want to lose fat or lose water from just this corner. Just this corner because that is my core. This is going to be my six-pack abs. So I get my cup, my exercise, my nutrition, all of that. I am going to scoop right from that corner. Does that corner have any less than the rest of the tub?
No, it's all the same.
It evens back out. And chances are you will, where you want to lose fat,
it's always the last
it's probably going to be the last place. Yeah. I lose boob and chest immediately, and I can't afford to lose much more of that. But I still live with the tummy fat. I would love to lose the tummy fat, but that's not how it works. You can't spot reduce by working out and targeting only that spot. You can't build abs by strictly doing core. You can build the muscles. Sorry, I'm speaking.
Yeah,
I'm misspeaking. You can build the muscles, but you can't outwork a shit diet.
Uh-oh.
You can strengthen your core and you can do your core, but if you aren't looking at the whole rest of it or the whole freaking bathtub, it's not going to happen just over there.
Yeah, well, if you take your bathtub analogy and, you've got your scoop, which is your healthy, active lifestyle, going to the gym, nutrition, and let's say it's a nice big cup. If you still have the tap on and you're adding to it, you need your cup to be able to take out more water than is coming in through the tap. You need to be making sure that you have good control over the flow of water into the tub.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
The dreaded spot reduction. Do this and you will only lose fat where you want to.
Next.
21?
Sure.
Each one is a shot in the dark now.
Yeah. Hit another one we
I
haven't
mean,
done.
looking at my list, I feel like I don't even know what's left.
The idea of toned. When someone says they want to get toned, how do you translate that into a plan? And what mix of building muscle and losing fat actually creates that look?
Can I just say the word toned was at the top of my list of things to talk about today. The top of my list.
I can see your list. It is actually the first
right here.
Yeah, it was her.
Right there, number 1 on my list. People have no idea what the term toned actually means.
What does it mean?
Well,
or do we even know? Because it's so distorted.
Or how to get toned.
Yeah.
I guess that's where it is. People don't actually understand how to get toned. The toned look is having muscle, but having a lower body fat to show off the muscle.
Okay.
Right? So
so is toned the Rock and super strong before he's lost all the weight?
A rock outside.
No, the Rock. Yeah, because we like our Project Rock stuff. Is it? Yeah. Is that toned, or is it?
I would say he like is chiseled.
Oh, thanks.
To get a toned look,
yeah,
you have to be lifting heavy weights and doing something to reduce the amount of fat on your body.
Okay.
So, from my perspective as the coach, for someone to say they want to look toned, my brain says you need
after it explodes.
Yes, you need to be lifting heavy while maintaining a calorie deficit, because tone just means showing off the muscle that you work. So all of those people out there who are afraid to lift heavy weights, you are never going to have that toned look because you're not lifting heavy weights to build the muscle to have to show off.
Yeah.
Toned is having muscle on your body and having a low body fat percentage. You can't just tone your body by lifting light weights, or you can't just tone your body by thinking that you want to have a toned body.
We're going to transition into another heading, which is strength training, because I think they tie really well together here.
Yeah.
But I also want to touch on, if somebody starts coming to the gym, is it realistic that you're going to start seeing defined muscle anytime soon?
No,
remember that it's like going up a set of stairs. Like, it is one step after the other, and you're pretty close to the top of your staircase when you start to see your mature, developed muscle.
It's a marathon, not a sprint.
Yeah.
It takes a really long time to be able to physically see the muscle that you are building.
And then when someone points it out to you, then you can say to yourself, there it is.
Yes. Yeah. So strength training and what it means. Strength training is the weights. Strength training is not running on a treadmill. Strength training is not on an elliptical or on a bike. Strength training is utilizing the strength training equipment within a gym, be it machines like a leg press and leg extension, the cable machine, squat racks, and also using dumbbells. I'm pointing over here again. You can't see, but the gym's over here. So that is strength training, using all of the things within a gym. And it's not the 2-pound weights.
No?
Lifting the 2-pound weights for...
It can be for some people.
Okay, yes.
Everyone has their own starting point.
Of course. But if you maintain that 2-pound, 3-pound weight long term, then you are no longer doing strength training. You need to be doing that progressive overload. Obviously, yes, you're right. And there are people who will walk in here and those are the weights that they have to start with. There is nothing wrong with that. No. That is where you start. The goal is to then progress and do more and more and more, lift heavier weights as you go along.
I think that it's really important here to touch on the idea of you cannot compare your own journey to anyone else's that's in the gym. especially when it comes to the weights that you're lifting.
Love it. Yeah, for sure.
Because if Kate and I both go to do a workout, I'm going to tell you there are things she's going to lift that are going to be heavier than me, than what I can lift. And there are going to be things that I can lift that Kate can't. And that's because we have different bodies and we're different people and our journeys are different.
Yeah.
It is okay wherever you start, whether it's 2 pounds, 1 pound, maybe no weights, maybe you're just doing body weight stuff. Maybe you're, starting at, you just want to be able to get up and down out of a seated position
From a chair.
better.
Yeah.
That's okay. That's where you're starting. That's not where you're going to finish. That's not what your goal is. And you can set your goal to be, okay, the top of my mountain is I'm going to be able to do a squat with a bar on my back. That is, if I can do that, I know I'm doing a wonderful job. To get to that point from I'm having a hard time just getting out of my chair takes time, and it's slow 1% progression.
Does everyone need to be doing strength training? Yeah, in some form. I do believe it. Yeah.
But what about women that, the belief out there is if women strength train, they're going to get bulky, and that's not feminine or attractive.
And being afraid of the heavier weights for the fear of getting bulky.
Yeah.
If you see someone online who you feel looks bulky and you use it as like a negative, as like not a compliment, as a, chances are they have been working for most of their life on creating that body via a calorie surplus, and their body is not natural. All of the bodybuilders, not all, walking a careful line there. A lot of bodybuilders out there and a lot of the people that you see online who you might feel like look bulky, their bodies aren't natural. That's not going to happen to you because you picked up a set of 20-pound dumbbells for an overhead press or a bicep
what
curl.
Your goals are, it can happen to you if it's what you actually want.
Yeah, but it takes,
most people don't want that.
It takes forever to reach a physique like that. That is not going to happen to the average person who is trying to add movement to their body to feel good and age gracefully. I want to take a second to kind of talk about the dreaded fitness classes. Fitness classes get a bad reputation because a lot of people out there will say that you can't strength train within a group fitness class because there are too many people there, because you are standing at a structure. You're all using the same weights. We have at our studio created something very, very different.
It's special.
We use full gym equipment for all of our sessions. Within our gym, during a group session, rest assured, we use the leg extension machine. We use the leg press. We use barbells. We use deadlifts. We use cables. We use all of the equipment that a lot of people, and women specifically, are afraid to touch in the gym for fear they're going to do it wrong or fear they're going to get hurt.
I don't even know if that is a woman-specific thing. Like, I think there's a lot of men out there, and
who feel the same way.
I'll be honest, when we first started our journey, the gym wasn't something that I was super comfortable in. Even though I was fairly athletic when I was younger, I never really did much in the way of strength training, and I didn't know my way around a gym. It took a long time for me to get comfortable, and we've designed some classes that are meant for that. I don't really even know what I'm doing. I need something slow pace.
And even within all of our group sessions, we create the safe place for you to utilize and try out the equipment, and then maybe you transfer it to the gym. But a lot of people hear the term fitness class and they think it is a cardio class. And I think it's important to separate movement from strength training because they can be very different. Movement might be going to a class where you are burning a shit ton of calories. Sure.
Yeah.
A dance class, a cycle class. Those are amazing forms of movement, but they're not strength training because you don't have the availability of equipment to be able to strength train.
Well, like my lifestyle is a really good example. I play hockey 3 times a week, like I mentioned, and basketball once a week. That's a lot of cardio. That's a lot of movement. It is not strength training. And that's why I've said, like, I need to hold myself accountable and get back into the gym to do strength training because it will prevent injury.
Yeah. And that's something that we talk about here is coming through the doors here, you will be mostly focusing on strength training. There are always cardio elements to keep us humble within every single session, but the bulk of the movements will come from those strength training because strength training is so important. It is so powerful. It is so badly required.
Can strength training get your heart rate up?
Yes.
It should.
Yes. Give me a good leg day and
yeah,
it's running.
Yeah. We did three there, answered 3.
Oh,
well,
I'm never gonna
17.
I'm never gonna have a clue on what numbers to.
Yeah, go ahead and guess.
I
don't know why you're looking at that. The
no, I'm just trying to figure out the things that I don't know what we haven't talked about yet.
Pick a number.
Did we do number 2?
Yep.
3?
Yep.
4?
3, 4. Yep.
5?
Yep.
6?
Yep.
7?
Yep.
8?
Yep.
Just keep going then. This is going to be boring for people to listen to. We can count here at Kate L. Tom's Fit.
Not very well. All right. We're all the way to number 15.
Oh, see, it would have been so boring.
That would have been painful. Where do daily steps fit in, and how helpful can walking actually be?
Love it. Okay, daily step counts. I remember a time not too long ago where 10,000 steps was the magic fix for everything that you could ever want in terms of your progress.
So much work.
Yes, it is so much work for someone who sits at a desk.
Don't call me out like that.
And has a sedentary job. It would be very hard for you to hit 10,000 steps a day. Someone like me who buzzes around this, God knows how big this space is, I can hit 10,000 steps by noon.
Yeah.
On a given day.
I got to be honest though, it's for me, there's ways I could walk more, and I choose not.
Take it back to a classroom, an elementary classroom. Your brain can only take so much when it comes to a screen. It's only going to retain so much information. You need that body break and give yourself that. So taking it back to the step count, there is nothing magical about 10,000 steps. The idea behind 10,000 steps is that it's just meant to be challenging. But for me, 10,000 steps isn't necessarily challenging anymore.
Rub it in.
So
show off.
I will talk to my clients about 10,000 steps. How realistic is it for you to hit 10,000 steps a day and each day?
Yeah.
And if they say that it is near impossible, I say, okay, how many steps do you normally get? And maybe it's 4,000 steps. Cool, great. Then this week, we're going to aim for 5,000 steps.
Yeah.
Maybe if that becomes easier, we aim for a little bit more, a little bit more. The idea behind a step count isn't anything magic. It is challenging your body that little bit more to get a little bit of movement in. So maybe it's within calls, getting up, taking a walk. If it's walking, if you have a sedentary job, can you walk on your lunch break and grab your lunch at another point between calls? How can you add movement into your day to increase the calorie deficit, increase the movement that you're getting, while still keeping things realistic? Because if I gave 10,000 steps to certain people, they would never be able to hit it. And I love
your mom to death, but if you gave her a thing to say,
she's going to be watching this.
Kathy, you've got to walk 10,000 steps. she might never talk to you again.
The step goal can be just as individual as your daily calorie and macro intake. It's okay if you don't hit 10,000 steps, but are you challenging yourself to add an extra movement? I will also say a little walk is a perfect way to curb the snack cravings. If you know in your body that you actually shouldn't be hungry, take a freaking walk.
Have a glass of water. That's my
Yes,
strategy.
we're talking about step count.
I know that.
Counts right now.
I know.
Take a walk. Eliminate the temptation of you sitting in your office where there's a snack drawer beside you, or you're sitting at the kitchen table.
How do you know about my snack drawer?
Eliminate it, man. Eliminate it.
Ugh.
Anyway, nothing magical about step counts other than its way to increase movement.
I'll also share a bit of a story. I try every year to run a step challenge at work, and the feedback that I always get from people is it made me just push myself a little bit more.
Because they were also accountable. They had to,
Yeah.
they had, and a little bit of competition.
Yeah.
We love that. Even if we don't say we love it, we love it.
Yeah. And the feedback is always so positive, and it's also so often people sharing prideful moments in an accomplishment that they did for themselves and how good they felt after that accomplishment, even if it, meant they went from 3,000 steps to 3,500 steps. Like that sense of,
They got more.
yeah, I got more.
Yeah.
I was more thoughtful about walking.
And what a
Such a
great
good
way
thing.
to build habit and build routine.
Yeah.
To then, hey, guess what? I can add that movement into my day. I can go for a walk every day on my lunch. I can do it.
Yeah.
You've got that routine already built.
So that was number 15.
I feel like we've hit all of them.
I think there's couple more.
Couple more?
Yeah.
I have to pee.
No. Number 20, muscle confusion.
Oh.
Is it a thing? What is it?
No, your muscles don't need to be confused. That's just another way for you to blindly follow a program or something that is set out for you.
I don't really want to be any more confused going into a gym than I already am.
Yeah. No, you don't need to throw in these fancy, oftentimes dangerous movements just to confuse your muscles.
Although continue to do the wacky shit that you do that ends up on the Instagram viral videos of people flying around on cable machines and stuff.
Yeah.
Because that shit's hilarious.
Yeah. Yeah, your muscles don't need to be confused. They need to be consistent and progressively overloading. And so from a group class perspective, we do a lot of variations of certain movements, but that's not to confuse our muscles. That is to progressively, but to progressively overload them too. And to be able to focus in on those core exercises.
Yeah. I think about my tricep extensions that I do where I have 3 different grips working the same muscle in 3 different ways. And it's
not to confuse the muscle, to work the different, like the long end, the short end of the tricep specifically in that situation. Yeah. They don't need to be confused.
We're not confusing anything. I hope. I get confused enough.
Okay, I think I know what's next.
You do you? What is it?
Based on according to my report.
We have 1 left.
Is it about metabolism?
It is.
Nice. The phrase, you can boost your metabolism. Do you have any other subsequent questions that come from that? Because I would love to define metabolism.
I think, defining metabolism would be really helpful. I also think it would be helpful for us to know how much can you alter your metabolism?
Okay.
And
love it.
What is
so your metabolism is how your body turns the food into energy. So we've all heard someone has a slow metabolism, which means their body works slower to turn that food into energy. Or there's the people who have really high metabolisms, which means their body does it really fast. Metabolism.
No, I said it the wrong way.
I know.
I said it the Big Daddy way.
I was copying you.
Okay.
you can't flip a switch when it comes to your metabolism to turn it on or off or faster or slower. You can support it with the daily habits like strength training, adequate protein, consuming food for fuel and food pertaining to your goals. You can support it, but it's going to do what it's going to do.
Well, like I'm thinking about the documentary that we recently watched about a pretty I'm not going to say popular. About a weight loss TV show that talked about how the people for 6 months would make such a massive, drastic lifestyle change and basically train like they were professional athletes.
8+ hours a day. They also didn't have to work for a living during that time.
Exactly. And then when they went back to their regular lives, their metabolism slowed. What was really happening is their body wasn't consuming the 5,000 calories that it was when they were training for 8 hours a day.
We know that they were not eating 5,000 calories, though. That also came out.
Yeah.
They were actually completely starving themselves.
Yes. So they were in like a 3,500 calorie deficit every day, which is 1 pound every day. And then they went back home and they were not burning that many calories, and they started eating more and gained a lot of the weight
kind
back.
Of like, well, I guess it comes like shocking the metabolism. I don't really know if even on that show they were shocking their metabolism. They were just working insanely hard and virtually starving their bodies to then be thrown back into their daily life and daily routine. Sure, their body would have been shocked going back to their daily life, just like their body would have been shocked going from that original daily life into your full-time job now is a treadmill.
It is essentially a massive calorie deficit.
Yeah.
And the more you can burn and the less you eat, the more you will lose. Absolutely, that's how it works. But when you go back to your regular life and you are eating 5,000 calories and burning just your NEAT, then you're in trouble.
And I guess it goes back to what we've been saying for the last 4 episodes. There's no magic fix. There is freaking hard work. There is daily things that you have to do and have to accomplish to be able to see and live the life that you want to see. But you're not broken. You can do all of those things with some hard work. Absolutely. Yeah. Is there any more?
Nope, that was the last one. We did all 22.
Wow, in one episode.
Yeah. So that's it for this one, right?
Yes. Yeah. And there's tons more than what we touched on here. So maybe I like this one. Maybe this is something that we can do again in the future.
And talk about some other things, because there are lots of.
Yeah. Make it make sense, right? Like there's so much noise out there that is designed to confuse us.
Yeah.
But when we break it down and simplify it, it feels a lot more realistic.
I mean, it just feels possible. And I think if there's a message to take from all of the podcasts so far, it's that this kind of stuff, it is possible for everyone. You just have to figure out what your start line is. And don't move the goalposts. Yeah. Celebrate the wins when you reach a goalpost. Don't keep moving them because you are comparing yourself to someone else. Or to go back to my staircase analogy, every time you step up one stair, celebrate the fact that you made it up one stair, even if it's 1%. Because if you increase your weight across the board 1% every time you're at the gym, and you go to the gym 2 or 3 times a week, you're talking about 100% increase over the course of a year, minimum 100% increase. So if you start at 5 pounds, you're going to be at 10 pounds within a year of incremental 1% more. That is substantial. That's what it's all about, baby. Yeah. Let's go. That was a good one. Okay. Thank you for tuning in. I guess wherever you are watching, if it is a podcast streaming service, I really appreciate a 5-star review. But I think on YouTube, it's a thumbs up. Yeah, and a like and subscribe. Oh, yeah, always helps. Lets us know that people actually watch this and are listening and want to hear more. because if nobody's listening, we'll probably still do it because this is kind of fun for us to
Yeah.
talk about these things and gives
Yeah.
us an outlet for these discussions.
And I like that we have some that are like a little bit sad and a little bit like more like storytelling. And then there's this one that is just, this is what it is.
This is real life.
So
That's
thank you for
what this is
watching,
about.
listening, all of that. We will see you guys next time on the KLT Fit podcast.
See ya.